Many terrible stories I've heard start with this phrase. I have a great tax guy and I'm taking some awesome deductions that save me some money or get me a refund at tax time. In this video, I'll cover 3 horrible tax moves and 1 tip to ensure that you aren't paying the IRS more money than you need to. I'm Steve Serbalik and I'm a panel attorney for AsCops. I have both a law degree and an MBA, and this week's video topic is common tax issues facing law enforcement. Before I get into the topic, if you don't already, please follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Both are @AZPoliceLawyer. Moving on, the most common area where officers get in trouble for taxes is for off-duty employment. Officers working off-duty talk to each other and swap stories about what they're doing to supposedly lower their tax burden through deductions. The first myth I hear is this: if you form an LLC, you will lower your taxes. This is straight false. LLCs, limited liability companies, are what is known as disregarded entities for the purposes of taxes. They don't have any impact on your tax burden. So forming an LLC doesn't increase your tax savings. The second myth I hear is this: I'm going to buy a vehicle and use it as part of my off-duty business. This often leads to having an off-duty tax return where your expenses outweigh your income. This is again a terrible idea almost all the time. Vehicle deductions are complicated, and if you're using a vehicle for both personal and off-duty work, you generally cannot deduct the purchase price or lease payments of that vehicle. In some limited circumstances, you may be able to take a mileage deduction for the usage of the vehicle at off-duty work, but there are serious restrictions on that as well. So be extremely careful with thinking you can buy a truck, toy hauler, or trailer that you intend to use for both business and personal use and think you can legally deduct those purchases. Finally, the third myth is this: my tax preparer let me take the deduction and the IRS accepted my return, so I must be good to go. This is false. You ultimately sign your tax return certifying that it's accurate, and the IRS will process tax returns and issue refunds based upon what you submit. I've heard officers brag about their deductions only to get audited and have to pay tens of thousands of dollars in back taxes and fines due to improper deductions. Those stories, your peers who were audited and had to pay back taxes, are far less discussed. Which brings me to my biggest tip. And it's one that I learned from my tax professor at Notre Dame. Paying taxes stinks, but if you give me your income, I'd be happy to pay your taxes. Don't fight the IRS, and be cautious and make sure you're only taking proper deductions. You often can't deduct personal items like haircuts, cell phones, internet, and other purchases that have dual purposes. And if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. You can't buy your lifted cop truck and deduct the purchase price on your taxes simply because that's the car you drive to off-duty. And the costs and stress of audits and fines and back taxes are simply not worth it. Oh, and by the way, 1 bonus tip. There's a huge difference between an IRS agent and an IRS special agent. IRS agents do routine audits and can make findings and initiate proceedings that could lead to fines and civil actions, while IRS special agents are criminal investigators. So if you're ever contacted by an IRS special agent, get a lawyer. I can't give legal advice on specific tax questions, but if you have topics that you think would be interesting for future videos, please leave them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe and turn on notifications. It really helps out the channel. Be on the lookout for future videos. They come out every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Arizona time. I'm Steve Serbalik. Thanks for watching and stay safe out there.